Hello, this is One Man Left, and I'm doing a second update now to my Gemling Legionnaire Archmage Spark character. So since the first video, I figured out maybe a little bit of min-maxing, and I've made the mana number go up, which is kind of the goal, stacker characters, to 16.1k now. Admittedly, it's not nearly as high as it could be if I was just trying to make that number go up, because I've made a adorned swap here recently. And that's not made a lot of my stats go up that you can really see, but it's made a lot of different things do wild stuff. Like, I have, for example, a 6-second spark duration right now without the spark nodes. Like, if I really wanted to, if I take these, it's 7.5-second duration, which is just, like, complete overkill. And I have my proj speed higher, too. Like, my spark proj speed now is, like, plus 137 because of adorned. So I'm doing funny adorned stuff now. The maybe most notable change I've made too is I've gotten the melting maelstrom flask, which basically gives you infinite mana, which is insane for bosses. In my opinion, this is the most powerful item in Path of Exile 2 right now. Like, think of it this way. If this item for an ES build was just a... And you can spam this too. I can keep spamming this. It only uses 8 charges. See, I've used it 3 times, and it's at 51 out of 75. So I get 9 uses of it, and it's a full heal. If this was a 20k ES character, and there was an item that full healed your ES instantly with no cooldown, and had 9 uses, it would be considered the most broken item in the game. But this is actually better, because it also restores your main mana, your damage source. But, you know what? We'll cut to a demo again. People like to see fighting. I'll do a Zesht 4. After that, I'll talk about the build more, some things I've learned, and some changes I've made, maybe. I'll maybe do a map demo at the end. We can see. I mean, this is kind of a map demo already, so I don't really need to show that. But, yeah. I'll just start with some gameplay and then get to talking. I think, I don't know if I made this change since the last video. But on the tree, I have the chain nodes near Eldritch Battery. I'll show that in a second. But, I can go through some gemlinks as I run here. So I'm using mobility. This is a good quality of life thing. It doesn't really change the tooltip, but, like, that's fine. Tooltip doesn't really matter. It's how good the build plays. I'm using Overshock. I right now have 100% shock. You can maybe briefly see it if I don't... You'll see it on the Zesht. If I don't kill something, you'll see 100% shock, maybe. But everything here is going to be dying in one hit, so you probably won't see the 100% shock. Let's see if I can see a rare that shows the 100% shock. But yeah, the Overshock gets that. I've added a couple things like the flame wall. I've added a weapon swap sigil. Just, like, things that don't really matter for mapping. But, like, if you're trying to kill a boss, that's, like, the Uber 4 difficulty that matters, I guess. Archmage is kind of the same still. I do have clarity now because I have 170, but, and then just +1 lightning. But the shock itself, yeah. Mobility's quality of life, Overshock's bigger lightning conduit. 25 more cast speed's fine. I moved the practice casting to the cast on shock conduit. It definitely makes the tooltip bigger on Spark. But if you get to a point where you don't really need the damage on Spark, only for bosses, I move that to the conduit. More duration, faster proj is just kind of a no-brainer, but I honestly have almost too much duration out with my Adorn setup. But cast on shock, then, like I said, I moved the considered casting there. So right now the conduit has focus, control destruction, considered casting, and the extra energy. I ditched Conk Effect because someone said that didn't work and people tested that. I did a little bit of testing on a Zesht 4. I did 5 Zesht 4s in a row with and without it, and it didn't seem to work. So it's not the most scientific way, but I think that means it doesn't work, so I dropped Conk Effect. I have the Flame Wall, just the Fire Mastery and Fortress. I added a Shield Charge in here just with faster attacks. The only thing that really does, it is nice because, like, if I'm moving in a map, I can Shield Charge and then teleport to cancel the backswing, because Shield Charge itself has this backswing at the end that slows it down. And with Blink, it's really nice because I can shield charge and then... Well, I did that really bad time. I can shield charge and then blink out to cancel it. But let me show you a Zesh tier, alright? So, I switched for bosses, the Blink to cast on Shock. He's coming out here. Like I said, the flask is really OP here because of the bossing. But watch, let's see some damage. There's damage. So I said I would scale this character to the point where I can one-shot him. I did like 65% there, and then the second one killed him. But I said you'd maybe get to see the shock, but I didn't actually show the 100 shock unless you maybe go frame by frame. But if I get a few more upgrades, I'll get to the point where I can one-tap him. But right now I do about 2/3 of his HP. But no loot for me, quiver it is, but yeah. I'll talk a little bit about maybe some potential upcoming nerfs and how this build will interact with those. And then I'll talk a little bit about, I'll maybe just show, like, I don't know. I mean, that's most of it for this update. But, yeah. So, upcoming nerf potential. Right now, this build does way, 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 way more damage than what's needed. So, like... If this build is nerfed by, like, 90%, which is, I think, an overshoot of what it will be if there is one. But I think this setup versus the Stormweaver is in a better position for the nerf, because I think it can get to just, like, even crazier numbers for defense and offense. But I think the distinction between the two is more so defense. The offense, I think Stormweaver fares a little better. I think just I think if you go like full crit stack, the Stormweaver can get to similar damage as this. Once again, this is still not like crazy numbers. I'm just like my spark level right now is 24. I've seen Stormweavers that have like 35 or 39 sparks. So like just some giga multi-mirror Stormweaver with like some crazy spark level, like can probably keep even with this on offense on a similar budget. But the defense is something else. Having like a 1-button instant heal with 9 uses that only uses 8 charges on a 16k pool is just like unkillable. This build right now is 96, getting close to 97. I've not died. Like, I had my first death today since switching to this full, like, since actually getting the build on and getting the gems in and actually getting the build set up. From 0 XP at 90 to nearly 97 now. I've just been, like, doing Uber bosses. I do maps, and I just, like, full 8 mod them if I can. And I don't read. I just corrupt them and send it. I don't read mods. I have the extra, like, mod effect and everything. Like, I do not read anything. And I have not died, except today at 96.5, I technically had my first death on the character since getting the actual gear together. Because I was at, like, what? Either 14 or 16. I'm at 17 now with that death. But it was a bug death at the start of this stream where I went to a map and I had the thing happen where if you, like, go near a wall, it, like, doesn't do projectiles, but it, like, lingered. Like, I went to a tower map, and I, like, got near a corner, and I started to cast, and I didn't get any projectiles, and then I started moving, and it just lingered. I just didn't get any spark projectiles, and then I just got surrounded, and then I went by the frame by frame, I tried casting spark 10 times, and not one time did a spark come out, and then I just slowly died, because I just wasn't registering what happened. I didn't use my flask at all, which would have just, like, full healed me and saved me, but I just, like, had a bug with no spark projectiles and then just wasn't registering what was happening. But aside from that first bug death today, I've gone from 90 to almost 97, just playing full drooling noob mode. I don't dodge anything. When something dies, I just go stand in the on death stuff just to, like, you know, make fun of people. And I still haven't died. Just today with the adorned swap, I almost got res capped. I'm 78 out of 81, and then 81, 84. So for most of this, I've been like 60 all res. Toward the start, I was like 20 all res. I still haven't died until today's bug death with no spark proj. So this character is like, I don't have like a good tank showcase for you. Well, I could, if I had another Zesh to load up, I could do that. Where I just like stand and all the stuff, like just like tanking the hands and stuff. That I should have done that. I should have taken a second to like let him hit me for a bit just to show the tank difference. But like basically what I'm getting at here is if there are heavy nerfs coming up, or if they make the end game significantly harder, the damage is just so overqualified right now that it kind of won't matter, even if they nerf it by 90%. And the tankiness should like make a little bit of a difference. But that's kind of the update for now. I am going to get this to 20k mana. I don't think I'm going to use Dream Fragments. I'm still missing a lot of upgrades, but yeah. Let's maybe end on something funny, okay? Let's do... Is this the hardest one I have? 260 is the highest. Let's do a tier 18 map, and let's do something funny. Right now, my Archmage gem says plus 1610% gain is extra. So this is 17.1 times more damage. So that is a 94.152% nerf if I turn Archmage off here. Let's try turning off Archmage and doing a tier 18 map. Let's do a 95% nerf and just see what that would happen. See what would happen there. Compare that to a Storm Reaver. To be fair, this should be difficult. Like, this should be really hard. A 95 nerf is insane. But let's just see if it's even beatable. Like, this should be insanely difficult. I should, like, tremendously struggle here with a 95 nerf. But let's just see. Having to use mechanics here. Having to use Flame Wall on this guy. It should look hard, but... Dude, can I even beat a ritual? Hang on. We'll see if I beat a ritual. It's pretty looking the same. It's done. That rare just died. Okay. This is a tier 18 map. 381 quant. Tier 18 map. I do not have Archmage on right now. I turned it off. It's 17.1 times more damage. I turned it off. So I know various builds are maybe looking toward nerfs coming up potentially. Apparently a 94.2% nerf, and this can kind of hold up here. Okay, I mean this rare is getting a little tanky, but we got him. All right, we're kind of holding up. I still have a lot of upgrades left too. Like, so even with a 95 nerf, like, remember this too. Do you know the difference between a 95% nerf and a 75% nerf? They might sound like they're similar because it's just two big numbers, right? 95 and 75. But the difference between a 95% nerf and a 75% nerf is 5 times more damage. Like, a 75% nerf, I would be doing like 4 or 5 times more damage than this. So like, yeah. It's still playable. You know what's sad? You know what's real sad? I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is still better than Titan. Oh, that's painful to say. It's actually still better than Titan. I think that's true, yeah. I think it's better than Titan. Yeah. I mean, it's close. I mean, like, on like a breach clear, the Titan's still better than this, probably. With no Archmage on. But, like, right now, just, like, going through the map, I think this still beats the Titan. For, like, overall clear. Just, like, blink teleporting. If I was somewhere in between this, it would feel fine. Let's turn Archmage back on. We're not going to see any monsters again for a while. Well, we're not going to see any monster HP bars for a while. But, I think it with a 75% nerf, this build, as it currently is, would still just shit on everything. But I'm still missing, like, I could probably still 5 to 7 times my damage with some upgrades. I did some math earlier, and it's technically possible to 10 times my damage. Where it is right now, with Archmage on. But, like, that means I can still get those upgrades, turn Archmage off, and have, like, a 95% nerf. And this is a tier 18. This is a 380 quad tier 18, like... I don't know. It's a little lopsided. There could be some insane nerfs, and it would still be just, like, full-blown funny. But, yeah, I think that's it. This build's really good. I'll see you guys next time. We go for Temporalis? Nope. Is there a boss on this map? There is. Oh, okay. I can technically not cut the video. Okay, no, I haven't cut. No, ignore that. Ignore that. Here's the gear. Boom. Boom. I'm gonna show all the gear and the passive tree. And the drill. Alright, the video wasn't cut. I didn't cut it. That wasn't the end. That was not the end. That was not the end. We're still going. Video's not done yet. We're checking items now. There it is. There, now we're done. Now we're done. There we go. Full everything at the end. Boom. Just all in a row, rapid fire. The firestorm's a meme. Don't pay attention to the firestorm. Orbistorm's a meme too. There. All right. Now I'll see you next time. Now go. Go. Bye.